though? It's Math Guy Steve. All right, so today we continue our MGS calculus camp. In the last few lessons, we learned how to recognize different structures in our derivative problem. We know when two functions are multiplied, we use the product rule, or if two functions are divided, we use our quotient rule. But today we're going to look at a different type of structure. What happens when we have one function inside of another function, or one expression inside of the entire expression? For example, if we have f of x equals 3x squared plus 1 to the fifth power. It isn't just x to the fifth power. The entire expression 3x squared plus 1 is raised to the fifth power. So we have like an inside function, an outside function. It's something to the fifth, and the something is the 3x squared plus 1. Whenever we have one function inside of another function, it might be best to use that chain rule. So here's our big idea for today. Differentiate the outside, leave the inside alone, then multiply by the derivative of the inside. Or easy way to remember is outside first, inside last. All right, let's get into it. All right, suppose we have y equals f of g of x. In that case, g of x is the inside function, f of x is the outside function. So to find y prime, we would say y prime equals f prime of g of x times g prime of x. In other words, take the derivative outside, leaving the inside alone, then multiply by the derivative of the inside. For the types of problems we do today, we'll usually see y equals, say, u of x to the n power. And the derivative would be y prime equals, bring that power down in front, so n times u of x to the n minus 1 power, times the derivative inside, so times u prime of x. So again, outside first, then inside last. All right, let's try something. So this is the first example we brought up, right? Find the derivative of f of x equals 3x squared plus 1 raised to the fifth power. So to find, again, we have something to the fifth power. So we'd say, okay, the outside is the to the fifth power, right? The inside is the something 3x squared plus 1. So to find f prime of x, we would say, okay, bring that power down in front. So 5 times, leave the inside alone, x squared plus 1 raised to the 5 minus 1, so fourth power. So just like we do a regular power rule, right? Bring the power down in front, subtract 1 from the power. But again, leaving this inside alone, then, okay, so outside first, then inside last, right? So multiply by the derivative of the inside. Remember, the derivative of 3x squared plus 1 would just be using our power rules, x, and then derivative of 1 is just 0. Got it. Now let's try simplifying as best we can, right? So like here is 5 times 3x squared plus 1 to the 4 times 6x. This 6x and 5 can be combined, right? And so we'd say this is 30x times 3x squared plus 1 to the 4th. Okay, but that would be a pretty simplified version of our derivative. So again, outside first, inside last. Let's try another one. All right, so this says find the derivative of f of x equals x cubed minus 4x raised to the 6th power. So again, we have something raised to a power, right? So there's an inside and outside here. So to find f prime of x, we'd say bring that power down in front. Got it. So 6 times x cubed minus 4x. Bring that power down in front. Leave the inside alone. Then subtract 1 from the power. Okay, so raised to the 5th power. Then outside first, then inside last. So times the derivative of the inside. Derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. Derivative of negative 4x is just minus 4. Okay. Now we could distribute the 6 to these, but that's a pretty simplified version of our derivative for this one. Outside first, inside last. This one says find the derivative of f of x equals 5x plus 2 raised to the half power. So a similar thing, we got something raised to a power. So outside and inside. So we'd say, okay, to find f prime of x, now we bring the power down in front. Okay, 1/2. Leave the inside as it is. So 5x plus 2. Then subtract 1 from the power. Now 1/2 minus 1 would be negative half. So raised to the negative half power. Then times the derivative of the inside, right? Then inside last. Okay, so times the derivative of 5x is just 5. And the derivative of 2, a constant, is just 0. So that'd be our derivative. We're going to try to simplify this, right? Typically simplifying things means we don't have any negative exponents, right? And so if it's a negative exponent, that just means it goes to the denominator. Okay, that portion goes to the denominator. So we could write this as, okay, the 5 is still the numerator. So 5 over 2 times 5x plus 2 to the positive 1/2 power now. Or even writing it as a radical, right? So 5 over 2 times the square root of 5x plus 2. Okay, but either one of those would be a simplified version of our derivative. Let's try some more. This one says find the derivative of f of x equals 2x minus 7 raised to the negative 3 power. So again, we still have an inside and an outside, right? So we'd say, well, outside first, inside last, meaning f prime of x would be, bring that power down in front, that negative 3 down in front, leave the inside as is, okay? So negative 3 times 2x minus 7. Subtract 1 from the power. Bring the power down in front. Subtract 1 from the power. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Got it. Then times the derivative of the inside, right? So derivative of the inside here, derivative of 2x is just 2. Derivative of negative 7 is 0. And so we can simplify from there, again, not including any negative exponents, right? And so negative 3 times 2, that would still be in the numerator. That's negative 6 over, and then 2x minus 7 to the 4th power. So that would be our simplified version of our derivative. All right, so here's a common mistake that students often make when dealing with this chain rule. Suppose we have f of x equals x squared plus 1 to the 5th power. A student might bring that power down in front, right? So f prime of x, they will write as 5 times x squared plus 1 to the 4th power. But this is a little bit incomplete, right? They differentiated the outside, but forgot to take the derivative of the inside. So you have to take the derivative of that x squared plus 1 and multiply it. In other words, the derivative of x squared plus 1, which is 2x, and multiply it by that original part that you took the derivative of, the outside part. So don't forget, outside first, inside last. So oftentimes the phrase comes up, did I multiply by the derivative of the inside? Where's there an inside, and did I multiply by the derivative of that inside as well? So always be thinking that chain rule when you have an inside of a function. All right, try some more. This one says find f prime of 1 if f of x equals x squared plus 3x raised to the 4th power. So let's first find f prime of x. Again, we have an inside and an outside, right? So to find f prime of x, we'd say, okay, well, take the power, bring it down in front. So take the derivative of the outside. Okay, 4, leave the inside as is, x squared plus 3x, and then raise it to the, subtract 1 from the power, raise it to the 3rd power. And times the derivative of the inside, derivative of x squared plus 3x, derivative of x squared is 2x, derivative of 3x is just plus 3, okay. Now, there's not much simplifying we can do here since it's already in factored form, but we're not just trying to find f prime of x, we're trying to find f prime of 1, meaning now plug in 1 for every x value. So that would give us 4 times 1 squared plus 3 times 1 to the 3rd power times 2 times 1 plus 3. Okay, so that simplifies to, we got 4 times, okay, 1 squared is just 1, plus 3 times 1 is 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4 cubed times, this becomes 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 3, which is 5. Okay, so multiplying this, we get what? 4 squared is 16, squared is 256, times 5, which is 1,280. Okay, 1280. That means the slope of the tangent line at the x value 1 is 1,280. Also, we can say the instantaneous rate of change at x equals 1 is 1280. All right, so this next one says identify the inside function and outside function for f of x equals 4x cubed minus x plus 2 all to the 7th power. So let's think. Again, the inside, outside. This is something in parentheses, so that implies there's an inside there. Something raised to a power. So this would be the inside, right? The 4x cubed minus x plus 2. This would be the outside, right? Is the power. There's other types of functions where it's not just raised to a power, right? You could have a trig function inside of another trig function, or algebraic expression inside of a trig function, or there's all different types of ways we can have insides and outsides. But I always think outside first times inside last. So for this one, it doesn't ask us to find the derivative, but just for fun, let's find the derivative. Okay, so here, f prime of x would be okay. We'd say I'll take the derivative outside first, right? So that's something to a power. So bring the power down in front, leave the inside as is, and then subtract 1 from the power. So to the 6th power times, and then now the derivative of the inside. This is a polynomial, so we can take the derivative of each part. Derivative of 4x cubed is 12x squared. Derivative of negative x is negative 1, and then derivative of 2 is just 0. And so that would be our derivative if we needed to find the entire derivative. All right, so let's make sure we know exactly when the chain rule is needed, right? The chain rule is needed when we have an inside and an outside, right? Because we say outside first, inside last. So let's try these. It says chain rule or not, decide whether each function needs the chain rule or not. Now, need is very vague because if it's raised to a power, we could find another way to write this. In other words, we could expand this by multiplying x squared plus 1 by itself 5 times, right? That's just exhausting at times. And so the chain rule is not always needed, it's just helpful. Okay, so we're actually going to answer the question, determine whether each function should use the chain rule when finding its derivative. Okay, let's try. Here, this first one, okay, it's just a polynomial, right? We have x to the 5th plus 3x squared, and so there's no chain rule needed there because we don't have an outside and inside, whereas here, we got an inside, but the parentheses give it away, and we have an outside, and so we probably should use the chain rule for this one. This one here, we'd say, no, it's just one term, right? So, no, it's a power rule. We just use the power rule for that one. Here, we have an inside and an outside, so we probably should use the chain rule for this one. This one's interesting because we don't have to use the chain rule. This one's actually a product of two things, right? And so we probably use the product rule as product, or we can just expand it, okay? Product rule, or we can expand it by just distributing the x squared, right? So, or expand and then use our power rule. But this one we would say, no, we don't have to use the chain rule for this one. Okay, because there's no inside and outside, right? There is an inside of sorts, but it's not one thing raised to a power, one whole inside, okay? So for this one, we use the product rule or just expand it and then use our power rules. All right, so last part, concept check. Why do we multiply by the derivative of the inside in the first place? The real reason why is because the inside may be changing at a rate other than 1. For example, f of x equals 3x plus 1 to the 5th, okay. The outside part tells us how a 5th power is changing, but the inside part, 3x plus 1, is also changing, and its derivative is 3. So we need that factor of 3 to recognize or acknowledge how fast the inside is also changing. Derivative outside tells us how the output changes in comparison to the inside. Derivative inside tells us how the inside is changing in comparison to x. And then the chain rule just combines those two rates. So that's why we multiply by the derivative of the inside. All right, so here's our big takeaway from lesson 12. Use the chain rule when we have one function inside of another function. Identify the outside, identify the inside. When we take the derivative of the outside, leave the inside as is, then multiply by the derivative of the inside. Or in other words, outside first, inside last. And always ask yourself, did I multiply by the derivative of that inside? All right, so that's it for lesson 12 of our MGS calculus camp. Today we learned the chain rule. We practiced identifying the outside and inside function. We found derivatives involving powers, involving fractional and negative powers. We also even evaluated a derivative at a specific value and discuss the more common chain rule mistakes, right? In the next lesson, we'll move on to trigonometric derivatives. We'll learn the derivatives of sine and cosine and eventually combine those rules with the power rule and the quotient rule and the chain rule. As always, keep practicing. Calculus gets a lot easier if you understand the structure of the function and what rule to use. Always remember, math is everywhere. Have a good one.